jumping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Hey, back on Monday, throw rock Friday. This is sweet Saturday. That's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, Wilson dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They pitch it to Chubb. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. A give. This is Chubb. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down.
19.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Come back, come back. Tiger. Come back, come back.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48.
Come back, come back.
After the interception, here's Watson. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Throwing again is Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Come back, Richmond.
Watson to throw on 3rd down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
14, got it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now it's Wilson. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a toss play. It's Carson. Powers through. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On second down, here's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Jaguars on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And now out comes Houston. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got him pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Back to throw, Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
3rd and 2, Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Being chased out left. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football.
Right. Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
On second down, Wilson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And an alley to run. He's to the 10. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Russell Wilson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you,
oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. On first down, it's Watson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Tiger! Come back!
Back to the air, Watson on second down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. And Forbath will put this one through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Sharks got it left side. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Go 14.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one. They'll toss it out to Carson. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top, as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Now a first carry for their fullback, and not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw on second is Watson. Now he'll let it go deep right. And got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. They give him a gain of 38. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Here's Foreman, and a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
To throw on second down, Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And he'll inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Nifty move. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now it's Carson. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
14.
On first down, Wilson. And his pass incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They run again with Carson. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. it's Wilson. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 11 more yards there. This methodical drive continues.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Flush to his right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Deion Jones in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
19. Tempo, tempo.
Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Third and long, it's Wilson. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 38. Back now in Houston, it's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Lambeau will put this one through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And he spins past him and into space. Dez Bryant with nothing but green grass ahead of him. Touchdown, Houston. Dez Bryant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans draw a bit closer. And that big 4th quarter return, Charles, makes this a 1-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had the big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for 2? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And very little room to maneuver. They'll get this down to about the 39. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now Wilson on second down. Buying time to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. The Jaguars on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3.
14.
From the shotgun, Wilson. That is caught. It's Perriman. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They go read option with Wilson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Hanson to his left. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the left hash, this from 37. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Back to throw. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. Watson now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10.
Come back.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. He's back to throw. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. The Texans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Come back. Tiger.
Back to throw. And he locates Walker, complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Now it's Watson. And this is incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now Watson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead.
Come back. Tiger.
Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown. And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds.
Well, that's the one they had to have. Put them in a position where they're tied up, but I got to get out of the way. We still got an extra point that's pretty crucial.
That's right. Just one more element to complete the victory. Forbath, the extra point, and that might be enough to win them the football game as they now take the lead in the final seconds. Forbath out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary, but you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Wilson to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Watson hands this to Foreman. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Texans, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.